So I was listening to the radio and I was listening to Michael Basin, and he was talking about women and that the fact that we don't know what we want. It threw me for a loop. What do you guys think about that?
You know, I heard his show also, and this thing that he has, do women know what they want, is crazy. Of course women know what they want.
That doesn't even make sense. I can't even comprehend a man having an opinion about what's in a woman's mind. Is he a hermaphrodite? Does he have many women parts that he knows what's going on both sides of the spectrum?
Exactly.
It's not comprehend. I can't get it.
Yeah. I think the thing is, I believe that we know what we want, and what we want is we want it all. And because these men are lacking it all, we start to compromise. So we have to change with each man that we come. We're not lowering our standards, but we're compromising because y'all can't get up to our standards most of the time. So for you to sit there and tell me that I don't know what I want, I think that right there is just like that. It didn't click yet.
Well, also on the same level, I think men and women, we are all human and we all have our basic needs. Mm-hmm. And everyone in a relationship wants love. That's a basic need, yes. Even from an infant on.
Yes.
And another basic need is touch. Everybody likes to have touch.
Yes.
That also is a basic need. So from there, everything else is like an emotional and personality, and it's all kind of layered on top. And that's kind of subjective to each person.
Exactly.
So kind of saying what women and men want is kind of just, you know, on the basic level, we all kind of want the same thing.
Love and touch.
So we all have our basic needs.
Yes.
You know, the men and women. So, and everything else is emotional and personality based.
Yes. All right. I feel I know exactly what I want in a man. I have my blueprint from head to toe, and I pray about it, you know? But I feel like until I open a Build-A-Man store, I can't make who I want. So the man that I'm now going to meet, I'm making compromises. Now, that's not saying I don't know what I want. That's saying that now I find this guy, I got to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and bake that into that one person. And that's not saying I don't know what I want. I feel like I'm compromising, and that's what you should do in order to build a relationship. It's based on compromise. It's not saying I don't know what I want.
You got to look at the audience that he's appealing to. It's a lot of women that don't know their right hand from their left. They don't know anything about themselves, let alone what could they offer to another individual. So he has a lot of ground to stand on. He has a lot of ears that are open to listen to his opinion, because they don't have any values. A lot of them don't have morals. They don't know what, you know, a man or a dad or father figure is supposed to represent. So they listen and they're like, you know what, maybe I really don't know what's going on in the world, because at the end of the day they really don't, because they don't know themselves.
Right.
Yes.
So,
and that right there is a very important topic.
Right. Or they think they know what they want, but what they want really isn't a man who knows what they want. So you could have two individuals who really don't know what they want.
And that's disaster waiting to happen. Waiting to happen. And I'm a firm, you know, I've been in a situation where I was told, like, how is it that you are remotely going to get to know somebody and try to build a relationship with that person when you don't know yourself? Exactly. And I think that's where it starts from. That's where the problem is. Women, you have to be comfortable with being with yourself. Be comfortable with being single. And once you get to that point where you're comfortable with being single, you could bring it and you will attract the type of man that not only that you want, but you deserve.
Exactly. And you're not looking for somebody to make you happy or to make you complete. You're supposed to come with a complete package already, and somebody's supposed to have their complete package, and together it's a unity, it's a blessing, it's something magical that you create together. It shouldn't be, I need this person because without them I can't live, I can't breathe, I can't. Right. It should never be on those guidelines whatsoever. And that's where these young women, even women our age, older women, they still have it all wrong. They still really believe that at the end of the day, in order for them to be happy, they have to have that person by their side. They have to be happy and one with themselves before anybody else.
Because they might be afraid to be alone, and you know, they're afraid that they can't take care of themselves or whatever it is. You know.
And I agree. And I do not feel a man should tell a woman how she needs to feel.
We're preaching right now.
Yeah.
How is it you gonna tell me, unless you are going through menopause and menstrual cycle,
Hello.
you cannot tell me how to feel.
Thank you.
You
No.
cannot tell me how to feel unless you can bleed for 5 days and deal with the pain. You cannot sit there and tell me I don't know what I want. You don't have to do
Well,
what
if
I
he's asking the question, then actually he doesn't know what a woman wants.
Today, these are basic ABCs of life that if you want somebody to respect you, you have to respect yourself. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Because like you said earlier, they're reaching people at different level.
Yeah.
But I feel it's important as a woman, and what I've learned and what my mother instilled in me was know yourself. Nobody else can teach you who you are. And how you learn that is by falling and getting up back and doing it again. And now you know, okay, I tripped when I walked that way. So maybe I shouldn't walk to the left anymore. I should walk to the right. Keep standards.
But also with that, you also have to love yourself. Even
Oh,
when you
yeah.
do fall, you have to get back up
Mhm.
and appreciate all the lessons that you
Yes.
learn
that's right.
and learn from them.
Yes.
Life
Yes.
experiences, and it builds character and
Yes,
everything
that's
else, and it builds who you
Definitely.
are.
Yes.
It's definitely not mistakes. This is wisdom. This
Yes.
is
Yes.
just, stripes on your flag. Like, this
Yeah.
is just building into who you are, somebody you could be proud of. This is, you can't be of a blessing to somebody else in a relationship if you don't have a history, if you don't have a past to make
Don't
you
have
a
strong and
testimony.
stand up on
Yes.
this,
Absolutely.
on this life that we're trying to have for ourselves. We know what we want. We work hard, going to school, being straight A students, and just being a blessing to our parents and our family. That's another thing. We don't know where we're coming from. We don't know about our heritage. There's so much things that you need to look into to find out who you are. It's a lot of work,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it takes
It's
almost
a
a lifetime
lot
for
of
some people to figure that out.
Yes.
And unfortunately, some people just want it. They just want it now.
And it
The world
doesn't
of now.
happen.
That's what
And it
we're
doesn't
living
happen.
And
in.
they don't
So
want to put the work into
they don't want to
it.
put the work into their own
Yes.
self.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, and it's crazy because you know what too? I am blessed to the fact that my great grandmother is alive. And she's back home in Guyana. But when you meet her and you talk to her, she'll let you know. She's like, in life, women, we can be picky. But she's like, you pick and pick, and then the last thing that's left is a rotten apple because you're so picky. She said, if you had standards and if you have goals in life, when you pick up something and you look at it, you know right there and then whether or not this is for you. You understand? And that could go to a man, that could go to a career, that could go to anything in life. When you already know yourself, you already know when you look at something in the face, you know whether or not that's for you. And you know when to move or go. So I feel like, he's saying we don't know what we want. We know what we want. It's the men that need to get their life together. They need to get their life together. They just need to work it out.
Coming from a Middle Eastern, West Indian background, I got to see it all. I got the best of both worlds, and there was a lot of chaos in my house. But at the end of the day, the word that we keep on recycling in this conversation is compromise. You just have to find a level where it's just like, I'm not going to go any further because I know I'm going in the no danger zone, and we just need to know when to pump our brakes.
Yes.
And communicate.
Yes.
And regardless, I think, of what race or ethnicity, you just have to know the other person well enough to say, you know what, I need to stop.